You are listening to Vicky Goes On and On with Vicky Stokes and James Wells.
Hello.
Hello. So serious.
I like your t-shirt.
Thank you. It's Magic Kingdom.
Mm.
I was very warm, and instead of opening the window, I thought I'd put a t-shirt on.
Sensible.
I try.
I know.
So how are you?
Yeah, busy. If I'm not working, I'm decorating. If I'm not decorating, I'm sorting out Christmas shit. If I'm not sorting out Christmas shit, I'm looking after a pregnant woman. If I'm not doing that, then I am sleeping. That's
good. That is good. And you'll need to get all of that in.
You say that, but it's like you never catch up on sleep, do you? It's bullshit.
No.
So it's like it's not like I'm reserving.
No.
You know, I'm getting it in because I'm not going to get it at all for months. But yeah, what a load of bollocks.
I agree.
Yeah.
You should also not do that thing that even I do, where people have a lie-in on the weekend. Apparently that's really bad, and it makes you just have like jet lag on Monday.
I was going to say it. I guess it messes up your clock, but
yeah, it does.
But then, come on.
But then what else am I going to do on a Saturday morning? I live alone. There's nothing better to do. Just lie in bed.
The thing with me is that it doesn't matter how early I get up.
You're still tired.
I can't sleep before 12. So
you can't go to sleep before midnight ever.
No. Very, very rarely do I. Very rarely. And that's the thing. If I got up really early to do something or to be somewhere, I still wouldn't go to sleep early.
Do you ever have naps?
Yes. Not all the time, but
you see, I never used to, ever. Couldn't do it. Made me feel quite ill, actually. But maybe because of lockdown, I'm not sure. You know, working from home, that situation. Almost every day that I'm in my flat working from home, I have a whole hour lunch. My lunch doesn't take me a whole hour to eat, right? I fall asleep for about 10 minutes. And I wake up really refreshed.
Yeah.
But it never happened before this year.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Is it age? Is it, just the claustrophobia of staying indoors all the time?
Yeah,
I don't
know. Yeah. I mean, it could be.
Yeah. But it's funny because I wake up in like a panic, like, oh my God, I've slept for 7 hours.
Yeah.
And it's always 10 minutes. And I always feel like, oh, that was really great. I really needed that. So.
Well, but Batman only sleeps for like 3 minutes, doesn't he? Or 2 minutes or something like that. Like he will, because
not in the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
He's a billionaire playboy, isn't he? So he's got drugs. He doesn't use drugs. He is a lean, mean fighting machine, and he doesn't put any narcotics in his body. What he does do is he does like it's something like 4 minutes. It's something really minute, and he'll have like 4 minute, 3 minute power naps, and he's good to go again because he's partying during the day and he's working at night, isn't he?
It is a funny concept, but we're here to talk about Back to the Future. Although I have seen Batman more recently than Back to the Future. I like to freewheel it, James.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do you think we're here to talk about Back to the Future Part 2?
I'm pretty sure we are. No. Or are we here to? What are we here to talk about? Christmas. I don't know what we're here to talk about. I'm ready to go with any topic.
Naps and.
Yes, fine, I've got several things to say about.
But if you'd already planned for Back to the Future Part 2.
No, it just means that I'll be really prepped for BTTF too.
Okay. Have you got notes and stuff?
Only to remind me that I would like to say a big thank you to Charlotte for her kind comments and positivity about this podcast, and to Raymondo in Canada for listening and commenting, but I don't know what he was referring to. It was on the Etiquette podcast, and he says something about, yeah, don't shout that out at an Oscar Wilde play, James. But I don't remember what we were talking about.
I'd have to
re-listen.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to pay respect to our silent co-host, Susan, who does always get a mention. But I want to make it very clear that she has a big hand in our operations.
She does. Susan does the audio commentary, doesn't she?
She does. And it's very helpful, actually. So, massive thanks to her.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
An email at vickygoesonanon@gmail.com. I set
because
up
no one listens.
I know. Well, at least three people listen.
This shout out that we're doing, we should say in the shout out to anyone that does listen,
you'll get a shout out.
Well, no, I was going to say anyone. No, come on. I'm not going to be wasting my time shouting out people.
Right.
But anyone that does listen, we do appreciate it, and also
very much.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones. No one else has got anything else to do. So
tell your hated ones too. I mean, I'm not bothered. They don't have to be loved ones.
No. Get on Redbubble. Do some design.
What's Redbubble?
Of what you think Vicky and I look like. Get it on a T-shirt. Vicky goes on and on. Spread the word. Redbubble. Surely you must know Redbubble.
Oh, it said no. When you said that, for a moment I thought it was a porn thing.
No,
that's RedTube.
RedTube.
Yeah, I don't watch that one. Anyway, so Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat.
Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming.
You know, I do have a Coca-Cola Christmas T-shirt, and I was going to wear that.
Was that with the polar bear on?
No, it's got the truck in the background, and then Santa Claus, and then like Coca-Cola. But I wore it on the weekend, and now it's dirty.
I
did not.
I was saying last time about how I prefer Pepsi to Coke.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing Coke does have going over Pepsi is that they made an amazing Christmas advert. The amount of people,
really have.
The amount of people that go, oh my God, now it feels like Christmas when that advert comes on.
It's true.
2, it's such a good advert for Coca-Cola, who are literally swimming like Scrooge McDuck style in a pool of money. They're like, fuck it, we ain't going to make another one. They don't spend the money on making an updated version.
And they don't need to.
They don't need
They're
to.
not doing the John Lewis. Well, let's put some plinky plonky bullshit.
They're like, no,
saccharine.
We've got this
song. We've got this song. It's a great song. It is a great song.
Yeah.
'Tis the season.
We smashed it years ago, and
if it ain't broke,
exactly,
don't fix it.
Which you don't get a lot these days.
You're right. You're right.
Big commercial brands. They're like, what can we do that's bigger and better? Yeah, I mean,
this is why Coca-Cola wins it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's funny that Pepsi haven't done a Coke thing. I guess the colours are wrong.
Coke are better at the adverts, aren't they? So because obviously there's that one. There's the guy without a top on who wears jeans.
Oh, the Diet Coke.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But they're iconic, aren't they?
But what about the I'd like to teach the world to sing? That's Coca-Cola.
I don't remember that one.
Oh my God, you do. I know that you do, because it's referenced in other things too. No. It's like a whole line of culturally diverse people holding hands. Coca-Cola. It's brilliant. You know it. You know it.
It's not as good as a village
it's
full
not
of
as good
white
as
people.
Holidays are coming.
Holidays are coming. I suppose that's the one thing. I don't remember seeing a black person in that advert.
I don't remember.
Or a Chinese person,
people.
Or just a big group of white American family people running out, getting excited by a line of Coke.
I can only remember the truck.
It was many trucks. But it is the season, and with Christmas comes adverts.
And
It's become a thing, isn't it? The Christmas ads.
why and when did the John Lewis advert become a fucking thing? I don't understand. I don't understand.
I was trying to pinpoint it's obviously because there is one advert of John Lewis which changed everything, but which one was that? Because there's been so many of them now, and I do not know. I mean, is there a list on the internet of John Lewis?
I'm going to Google, when did John Lewis advert? Okay, I don't even know why my predictive is like, when did John Lennon die? I'm like, all right, John Lewis.
When did John Lewis die?
That is one of them. But because there was, that senator, the civil rights activist whose name is John Lewis, when did John Lewis advert become a thing? That's what I want, not start.
Or Google, what is the most iconic John Lewis Christmas ad?
Okay, so 2009 was the first Christmas campaign one.
What was that?
Okay, it says the 2009 advertisement was the first for John Lewis by ad agency Adam and Eve, who went on to create the subsequent Christmas campaigns, featuring a cover of the Guns N' Roses song "Sweet Child O' Mine" by Taken by Trees. The commercial features young children opening gifts usually given to adults, such as a coffee machine and a laptop, with the tagline, "Remember how Christmas used to feel." The final scene shows a girl unwrapping a camera and becoming a woman.
I don't remember that one.
2007. That was the biggest seasonal ad spend up to that point. They spent £6 million. It features presents and products being carefully assembled, positioned to eventually create a shadow image of a woman and a dog in the snow, in the style of artists Tim Noble and Sue Webster. I do remember that.
I don't remember that one.
Because there is this whole kind of art thing where you can stack things up and then the shadow that they cast is an image, and it blows my mind. And I think that was probably the first time I saw it. The second year, there was a montage of people of all ages and their ideal gifts with the tagline, "If you know the person, you'll find the present." This was the first to feature the now traditional cover version with "From Me to You" by the Beatles, recorded by unnamed employees of John Lewis.
Don't remember that one either.
No. Then there's the Guns N' Roses one. And then there's Ellie Goulding's cover of the Elton John song, "Your Song."
That's it. That's when it starts getting...
That's the one. That's
the momentum, isn't it?
So that's 2010. Yes.
Yeah.
Most notably, two parents attempt to secretly carry a rocking horse up some stairs whilst their children watch television. The advert concludes with a boy taking a stocking of presents outside to his pet dog in the snow. That's the bit I remember. This caused some controversy with animal rights protesters. It would, wouldn't it? Who complained that the animal was left outside in the cold whilst the boy waved goodbye and retreated to the house. It's an advert. It's an image.
But who is leaving their dog outside on Christmas?
No, well, I'm not. My dogs, they sleep in beds, human beds.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but you want them to. You want them to be cozy.
Of course, because they're your family. Anyway, so that's when it really, that's like the key.
Which is fine, but it's now not a John Lewis thing, is it? Because everyone's trying to compete with...
If I hear
John Lewis.
One more woman singing a plinky plonky version of some sort of rock song from the 80s, I will cry.
Yeah. Although this year it's not a cover, is it?
I haven't seen this year's.
It's this year is more about being kind to each other because everyone's been a cunt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's
that's not the John Lewis tagline, "Be kind to each other," because everyone's been a cunt. Can you imagine if that...
Have you ever thought about going into advertising?
If that just came up on the screen, you had a lovely advert.
I would love it. I would appreciate it. I'd be like, we're going to that shop. They're very honest.
Yeah.
People are cunts. Oh my God. Don't do it. Just be nice.
And then knowing John Lewis, they'd have pillows and cushions with the words "cunt" on it, and
in that
because that's what they do, don't they? For the adverts,
yes, they do.
They then bring out merchandise, don't they?
Well, because it is about money. I do find it frustrating, I think is the word, that it's so, I know it's very cliche for me to say this, but Christmas is just for money.
Yeah. Well, we touched upon this, didn't we, when we spoke about Halloween?
Yeah.
About the commercialization, and it is. You're right. It is cliche because everyone knows it. People aren't stupid, but isn't it strange how it's quite evident and it's quite obvious that it's a commercial thing, especially Christmas, and it's all about buying gifts and giving gifts for a lot of people. Is, I mean, isn't it
Some
funny
people
how
are still religious, yes.
even religious people still buy into that whole getting gifts and giving them, and isn't it funny how it's so obviously known and people recognise it, but they still do it. You still fall into it, don't you? There's no
I was thinking about
protest
this.
about it, really, is there?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, particularly in light of this year where, lots of people are struggling. And although I wasn't furloughed and, thankfully, and not laid off or anything, I do sort of feel, well, do I really need to buy somebody a thing that they don't really need? And I sort of feel this every year. And James, I love buying people get presents. It's not about that. It's more about, so for many, 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 many years, I bought my mum a bottle of perfume for Christmas. She would tell me what bottle she wanted, and that's what I would buy. And not that long ago, it would have been January this year because her birthday's in February. And I think I was asking her, what do you want for your birthday?
Yeah.
And she said, I want this perfume, whatever one it was. I don't know. I never know what they are because I don't really use perfume. And I was like, okay, that's fine, not a problem. And then for whatever reason, I was looking for something in her room and I came upon, she's got like these baskets that go in a shelf, like a Kallax, and you get
like
the special boxes.
Like the storage basket kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And I looked in one, I think I was looking for a fan, like a Spanish fan.
Yeah.
And I know that she's got a basket full of them. Anyway, I came across a different basket. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you that there were about 106 bottles of perfume in this basket.
Of the same perfume that she asked for?
All sorts of different ones, but there were two, one half full and one quite empty, but one half full bottle of this particular one that she wanted. And I was like, like an hour ago, I asked you what you wanted and you said you wanted Red Door. Happy birthday for next month. Here's a half bottle of Red Door. And she was like, oh, I have some already. I'm like, yeah, look. And we went through one by one. I was like, you've got one of these. I could do like a tally chart of how many she had. This many bottles of Coco Chanel, this many bottles of Jean Paul Gaultier, this many bottles of J'adore, maybe Poison, Chanel No. 5, this perfume that she
Does she wear
liked, another one.
Does she wear
Obviously
them?
Not enough.
Yeah, I know.
She could fill a bath with what she's got.
Well, all I was thinking,
and I said, I am not buying you another bottle.
Yeah, but is it? One. Is it that she does wear them, but because you've got loads of siblings, you're all asking, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? And she's saying perfume to every single one of you. So she gets 6, 7 bottles of perfume.
No. One, because not everyone buys her a present.
Right.
End of that sentence. 2, because we discuss amongst ourselves. Philip will give me money and like a list of people that he needs me to buy stuff for. And so I go off and do the Christmas shopping for Philip and I. Right. And Stephen will discuss with us what he's getting, our parents. And then Philip and Stephen give Mikey money and tell him, buy mum this. Right. So, and one year, I think that stopped now, because one year, not that long ago, they both separately gave him 40 quid or whatever and said, buy mum a bottle of perfume. And he bought my mum 1 bottle of perfume. And so obviously kept half of the money that he'd received. So he got like 80 quid. bought my mum a £30 perfume and kept the difference. And so when on Christmas Day this became clear, there was a sort of hushed argument between us siblings. And I was like, well, you two are idiots.
Wow.
That's all I have to say about that.
And Mikey went on to become Donald Trump.
Oh, God, I tell you, you know, anyway.
For me, I do think that as I've got older, and it is cliche because you do end up thinking like your parents or your grandparents do as you get older, but it has become less and less about presents for me, because you get to a point where you're earning money, you can pretty much buy what you want when you want it, you know, and actually it's not even about money, it's about accessibility. It's about the fact that if you want something, if you've got the money, you don't have to wait for it, because you can go on Amazon,
Yes,
you can go online, you can order it, and within a few days it'll be here. So then when you come to like birthdays and Christmas, I don't need anything. I don't want you to waste your money buying shit that I don't need.
The things that I do want and I haven't bought, it's because I can't afford them, and I wouldn't want to put that on other people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I want this. Do you know what I mean? So then people have been asking me, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want, Vicky? What do you want? So I told my dad recently, I said, I'll tell you what you can get me, because you got it for me in the past, and over several years that I've moved out, bits and pieces have gone missing. Can you get me a little toolkit? Because he got me a little toolkit before, and I still have, he got me this cool hammer that comes apart, and inside the handle there's a screwdriver, like a Phillips screwdriver.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, and it's really cool. But then he also got me this little pink, not happy that it's pink because of sexist reasons, but I don't care that much. You know, because it's like, well, my favorite color is definitely orange or blue, so why you have to get me a pink one is sort of fine. But he bought me this little, and it's got like a little tape measure and a little, you know, socket set and pliers and things. And it is useful, isn't it, to have a toolkit, even if it's just a little, like couple of screwdrivers and and you know, a socket wrench or whatever. But so I've said to him, you know, more recent, I've noticed that a couple of the things are missing and can't find them. So get me one of them. They're very cheap. That's all I want. And then Kelly asked me, what do you want? I said, get me a plant. So she's going to get me a plant. Nice. Someone else asked me, and I said, I just broke a champagne flute. So if you could get me some champagne flutes, that would be cool. Because the last ones that I had, I stole from a bar, and that bar probably no longer exists. No. So sorry about that.
You probably won't be stealing any from bars anytime soon.
No, although pubs are open, but I'd need to have a substantial meal.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're not there long enough now to
exactly.
Let a couple of glasses disappear in a sea.
No, exactly. It's true. Yeah. And it's all table service now. Oh man, that's so true.
It's a load of bollocks.
In 10 years' time, when nicking glasses from pubs is no longer a thing, we'll be talking, you know, to our kids about, do you remember you used to be able to nick glasses from pubs? And the kids will be like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
We just get implanted.
You know, like there used to be gas meters and electricity meters, and you put coins in, and you could nick. And now, I mean, of course, they don't exist.
Yeah, those are the days.
Do you remember when we were part of the EU? Like, what are you talking about?
I mean,
you didn't need a visa to go to France.
So, what's your favourite Christmas song? Because there's
my favourite Christmas song. Okay, I've got two.
I'm going to tell you something in a minute once you tell me this.
Okay.
Because I find it quite hard.
All right. Can I tell you some favourite Christmas songs?
Of course.
3. One is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
The original or the edited version?
The original, and this was one of the conversations that I wanted to have with you, because I think that's an interesting topic in and of itself. So let's put that to one side. So that one. Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney.
Of course.
And I think it's the weird synthiness of it that I like.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. There's something about synth and sax, but we all know about saxophone. It really speaks to my soul. I remember having a conversation with Susan about this because she was the one that pointed out that if a song has a sax solo in it, I like that song.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I often wonder how dissatisfied I would be with music if I was born in a century where synth and sax weren't a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I do like flute and I like clarinet, but there's something that it jives with me, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one. And then Happy Xmas War is Over is a good one, but it makes me feel very sad.
So is that your top three?
Yeah, I think so.
2 Beatles in there, haven't you?
I know. I was thinking, that's why I said, can I tell you some others? Because obviously I like Mariah Carey's.
What one's that?
You know, what's it called?
What?
Mariah Carey's Christmas song. What do you mean, what? Oh, for fuck's sake. This is how much I like it. Oh, I tell you which one this is my top 4, 100%. 2,000 Miles.
Oh, Pretenders.
He's gone 2,000 miles.
It's very far.
It is pretty far. I googled it once. 2,000 miles from where I was. It was pretty far.
Where did you end up? 2,000 miles away.
I think I was somewhere in Scotland.
Really? Fucking hell, that's long, isn't it? Jesus. That's pretty far. Fuck mine. That's a lot more than pretty far, isn't it?
From London.
Yeah, but what direction is the question?
Well, we'll see. Hopefully it will just, that's what I wanted. Oh, look, it's even further than that. Moscow. Oh, no, this is kilometres. Who wanted kilometres?
No, it wasn't. The song wasn't 2,000 kilometres.
It certainly was not.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
Cyprus.
Wow.
We could go to Cyprus. That's 2,000 miles away. It was All I Want for Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I was only winding you up. I know what it is.
Yeah, but I didn't. I forgot. I could just see the image.
So I've got a Christmas playlist on my iTunes.
I have many.
Which I've been collecting up for years, like actual CDs are now on my laptop. My Christmas playlist is 13 hours long.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know my Christmas playlist is not 13 hours long? I tell you another song that I love, and I wonder with a 13-hour-long playlist if you know it. I'm sure you do. Do you know the song Christmas Wrapping?
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
I love that song.
Who's that by?
It's this one this year. Merry Christmas.
It's not Bananarama, is it? It's
no, it's
The Waitresses.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing about having a 13-hour Christmas playlist is there isn't actually that many Christmas songs in the world. There's a lot. There's a lot of different versions of the same song.
Yes,
agree. That's true. And then every now and again, you'll get someone like Coldplay or The Darkness who will.
I was going to say The Darkness had a new one.
Yeah, who had a new one to the now that's what I call Christmas compilation, whatever. But in general, it's different people singing White Christmas or the Christmas song or Baby.
And the thing is there to me, there is always going to be the definitive version of White Christmas. Now, obviously, that definitive version for me is Bing Crosby, but perhaps if I was born in 1997, it ain't Bing Crosby.
It might be Harry Connick.
Yes. Or
in later life, Bublé.
Bloody Bublé. My manager loves Bublé.
Yeah, I like Bublé. I don't mind Bublé.
Yeah, I don't mind Bublé, but every...
Bublé.
Bublé. But every every Christmas time, I've just worked there too long. Every Christmas time, I will try to put on like an Amazon playlist or the Magic Christmas or Smooth Christmas radio, and my manager will be like, "Can you put on Michael Bubble? I love Michael Bubble. Oh, I love Bublé." And I'm like, I know. Yeah, but he's cool. I don't like that he did he did a cover of Santa Baby.
Santa
But
Baby.
instead of saying baby, because that's gay or something, he says, and it annoys the shit out of me, Santa Buddy. Shut up.
No, just say baby.
The song is called Baby. Like,
it's like
why are you making a thing of it?
Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't say hasta la vista, buddy, did he? He said baby.
Because Arnold
Austin
Schwarzenegger
Powers.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger is secure.
Yeah, buddy.
In his sexuality.
Said, yeah, baby.
Because he's secure in his sexuality.
Yeah.
It ain't a thing. And I had to Google it. I had to be like, did he really say buddy? What the hell is this? Rabbit hole.
Buddy. So what do you think of, where do you stand on Feliz Navidad?
Oh, well, I was about to say.
Go on.
Do you want to know what mine and Susan's favourite song is?
Is it Feliz Navidad?
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
I want to wish you a Merry
That's my favourite. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's so fun, isn't it? It's so fun.
It is. It's so... Oh,
Bublé did a cover of that as well.
Well, he shouldn't have.
He's like him and Cliff Richard. They only come out now at Christmas, don't they? Like
I would use my words very carefully.
I don't mean it like that. Maybe with Cliff, but Bublé's a happy married man.
He is, and I like him, and he seems like a lovely dude. And Cliff is also cool. Yeah. I do not dislike anybody.
Look. Mistletoe and Wine by Cliff.
It's a shit song and I hate it.
No, it's great.
No, it's not.
It's a brilliant song.
Who puts presents on the tree?
What, is that what the lyrics are?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, it depends how small the present is. Some people might as a decoration thing. I don't know.
But that isn't the typical thing to do.
Yeah, but he's not a typical guy, is he? Oh, Cliff.
Well, listen,
but then he should have left it there. But then he starts bringing out the Lord's Prayer.
Millennium Prayer.
Fucking hell.
Millennium Prayer.
I mean, a lot of them.
Our Father who art in heaven.
No, so it was Amazing Grace, wasn't it? It was the tune to Amazing Grace.
I thought it was
Father who art in heaven.
It's just it doesn't rhyme.
No, it doesn't.
Fucking idiot.
Actually, while we're on that subject, Last Christmas, the song Last Christmas.
I gave you my heart.
Do you know what's always bothered me about that song?
What?
Is the second verse. And when he comes in, he says, crowded room. Da, da, da. The crowded room bit never works. Like structure-wise and beat.
I don't know.
Doesn't work in the verse. It really jars me. Because everything, it's like, da, 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 da. It's all very like, and then he goes, crowded room. It's just like, it doesn't fit.
I have to play it. So you said second verse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll have to
edit this bit for copyright reasons. That's the first verse, isn't it? Once bitten, twice. See, that works. Once bitten.
I don't like that whisper. Happy Christmas. I read it. Is it not this bit? Is it before or after this bit? Should I find out?
It's after.
It's after this bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep going. Because I really can't remember what you mean.
Here we go. Listen. Fucking hell. Come on, George. Fucking hell. I forgot how long this fucking song is. Here we go. Here it comes.
All right. Do you know, I have never noticed that was the lyric.
But it doesn't fit, does it? It's just
it's
really
doesn't.
Like,
I think I've always just mumbled that.
So that's what I mean. So the first bit,
doesn't mean anything either.
On the first, it's just like,
What is
once
the
bitten,
lyric?
it goes, the beat goes, big crowded room, but it's like
Lyrics to
crowded
Last
room.
Christmas.
It
But
just doesn't work.
What is the lyric?
Crowded room.
No, but I mean, and then after that, it's a crowded room, friends with tired eyes, hiding from you and your soul of ice. My God, I thought you were someone to rely on. Me, I guess I was a shoulder to cry on. And I think that bit is where I'm like, yeah, this is my favourite bit. I never noticed that.
Oh,
ever.
it really annoys me.
And I'm old. You know, I've heard that a lot. Yeah. I remember it would have been maybe 1988. So it was still relatively new Christmas song, but not so new, not so sort of in the zeitgeist, if you like. And it was on the chart show. Do you remember the chart show? No, it might not have been on when you were little. I know there's not a lot between us, but you know, I'm talking about 1988. We were watching the chart show. They did a Christmas one, and it was in the Christmas morning maybe, and and I was like, I like this song. I was 6, all right. Oh, I love this song. And my dad says, oh, do you know what cracks me up is George Michael's gay. And I vaguely understood what that meant. My dad was like, he's a homosexual. And my dad knew. I might have said this to you before, but it was just so shocking that how dare you say that George Michael is a homosexual? He's not. He's going out with Pepsi and or Shirley.
No. He's yeah. And he can't write a lyric for shit.
That's still a good song though.
It is a good song. It's not my favourite Christmas song.
It's definitely in my top 10 though.
If it's in my top 10, it's coming to the bottom of the top 10. Do you know one of the talking of newer Christmas songs?
Yes.
And I bet you haven't heard it, but I will. I recommend to you now. Once we've stopped talking, have a listen.
I'll make a note.
It's called "The Cowboys Christmas Ball," and it's by The Killers. And it is the most fun Christmas song in the world.
This is paper. I'm going to write.
It gets me going.
Cowboys Christmas Ball.
Cowboys Christmas Ball.
Can I recommend Korn's version of Jingle Bells?
Have they really done one?
Yes.
Oh yes, please.
It's not pretty. Jingle bells, jingle bells. I had it on.
Their managers like, guys, we need you to do a Christmas song.
Listen, it was like the 90s maybe. Yeah. How do we feel about the novelty song?
As in, go on, give me an example.
For example, the bloody Mr. Blobby or Bob the Builder. You know, the sort of song that
the one that hijacks the Christmas number one. It's got
because
fuck all
your
to do with Christmas.
Granny's going to buy it for the 5-year-old.
Yeah, didn't
there
was that fucking Pratt, that lad baby thing. Did like a song. It was a cover of something. I think it was a Queen song, but it was all about sausage rolls.
Oh, did he?
And that went to number one, didn't it?
Did it?
Fuck's sake.
You see, since the X Factor...
That annoys me.
Is it the X Factor? Since the X Factor sort of started being the Christmas number one,
yeah,
it wasn't as fun anymore.
No.
And I sort of liked that there was this internet campaign where they were someone was saying, let's make Killing in the Name or something.
Okay, yeah.
The Rage Against the Machine song, anyway.
Yeah. So I remember
Christmas
that.
number one. Yes. Yeah. And I thought that was cool, but also, you know, the lyric is like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, except you're doing what they told you to do, which is buy the rage song.
That's the only reason why they wanted it to be number one, because they're swearing it.
And it was just a sort of backlash against the X Factor.
Yeah.
Whoever the X Factor winner was going to be Christmas number one, which is boring, isn't it?
But I like my Christmas songs like I like my Christmas movies. They've got to be about Christmas. So I'm not interested in.
The thing with
got to number one at Christmas.
Yeah, but that's a really bad version. That's why.
Obviously, but it's still, that's not a Christmas song to me.
Yes, I agree. But Christmas number one in 1981 was "Don't You Love Me, Baby" by the Human League,
which is a great song, but I never associate it with Christmas.
No, but so what I was going to say is, in my family, as I've made very clear, we like to quiz each other with trivia questions. That's how we bond. And
is that how you communicate in general?
Yeah. This week we have been making up trivia questions about the young ones, so you'll approve. And it's just, it's a bit of fun in it.
Yeah.
And so we would do things like, what was the Christmas number one in 1988? Now, I'm not very good at Christmas number ones, but there was a period where I could name loads of them because it wasn't just whatever won X Factor that year. Whatever won X Factor.
Yeah.
Well, whoever the X.
Yeah.
And so, it was a thing. I appreciate that. I really do agree with you that a Christmas song needs to be about Christmas, but the Christmas number one didn't necessarily have to be a Christmas song. It just was the popular song of that moment, right?
The Christmas number one is only obviously the number one during week. Christmas, but yes. You could have a Christmas song that gets to number one in the first week of December. That's still Christmas.
Of course. Yeah. So there's sort of two different things, right? And so I just agree that it is really dull that we don't have that tradition. I know it sounds like, old lady moaning about the kids today, but it is true that it was very nice to have that sort of tradition of, what's Christmas number one? I don't watch EastEnders, but there is a sort of tradition that EastEnders Christmas episode is going to be bloody horrible, and something really dramatic's going to drop, and I think that's kind of fun.
I mean, everyone went up in arms when they stopped showing Doctor Who on Christmas Day, because after like 10 years or something it became a tradition. And it's nice to have, especially at Christmas time, it's all about tradition, isn't it? So
isn't it? I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, I love Christmas crackers, right? They're very disappointing, but I still love them.
But you love it because they're disappointing.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just something.
What do you like about it?
I think I like.
Is it the tradition, the comfort,
I think it's the tradition, and you don't know what it is. So the monkey part of my brain is like, unwrap it and find out what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like Kinder Eggs because of the surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, the chocolate's all right. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it isn't the best chocolate in the world.
Oh, no.
And nowadays, they're not very good toys. But I still, every now and then, will buy a Kinder Egg because I want to have the thrill, the adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's the high octane adrenaline.
But I think there is a comfort, isn't there, about that kind of stuff, and especially around Christmas time. I mean, if you've got a tradition in your family, or you've got a way that you spend Christmas every year, then it's a comfort when do that.
I think that there are quite a lot. I think we discussed this before, actually, in the pub episode. There are quite a lot of very British Christmas traditions, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. You will have something, not necessarily the whole day, but something will be the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when do you open your presents?
Well, that varies. So for the past couple of years, so ever since we moved in together, we spend Christmas Day just us two. We haven't gone to see parents,
which I
anything
think
like
is
that.
great.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
and you know, because you have
Because
to.
then you don't have that whole
Who are
this year
you
it's your
coming to?
parents and
Yeah,
next year
yeah,
it's my parents and
yeah.
this year it's your parents.
For
Yeah,
us, it was
yeah.
always a
No,
case of,
I
look,
really like it.
yeah, I mean, for us, it was always a case of, and I mean, yeah, granted, all my grandparents are dead, so that obviously helps. But for my
All
parents,
my grandparents have
it wasn't a
always
case
been
of,
dead.
I never knew them as, oh, okay, we're going to their mums this year, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So there was never,
Yeah. I mean, I never had that, so
but
it's always been just me
and
and my
for
mum and
us,
dad.
it was just
And
the
then
it was the realization that, okay, we've got our own house now and we're our own family. So fundamentally, we will be doing this stuff, and we will be doing the same as what has gone before, and we will be creating our own Christmas. So as soon as we moved in, we were like, well, no, we'll spend the first Christmas together, and we've
what
done.
I think is
The thing
really
is, though,
lovely. Yeah,
no, go on.
I was about to compliment you. What I think is
Thank
really
you.
lovely about you and your lovely wife is you immediately recognized that you two are a new family.
Yeah, not just a
You
couple. You're a
two.
family, aren't you? You know,
No, but you two. And I
not the
know that
band.
no. But I know that kids are going to be part of the equation, sure, and that's lovely and fine and dandy. But even without that element, you still recognized in each other, I think, is the important thing. That you two now are a different. You're a new thing.
Yeah, we do our own
And
thing. Yeah.
and I think that is it just a testament to how strong your relationship is.
No, thank you. Yeah. I mean, we've been doing it, just us two, since, well, when did we move in? 2012. So we've been spending Christmas Day, just us
How
two,
long? How
for eight
long had you
years.
been dating, if you like, before you moved in with each other?
Oh, now you're asking me. So I
Because
met,
you moved in and then you got married, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I met Hayley when I was 20, nearly 21. And I think I was about 27 when we got married. That sounds about right. 6 years ago.
I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
Was it 6 years?
Oh no, maybe I was
I
29.
know it was.
28, 29, I think. Yeah, I mean, she'll listen back to this, and I guarantee she'll be pausing and going, well, so, and then giving me all the exact numbers.
Well,
But
James,
that's,
I was there,
you were
and you
there.
think I'd remember. I
Yeah.
was there, and it was a bloody lovely day.
Thank you very much.
And I was very amused when people who didn't know me at all naturally assumed that I was Hayley's friend, and I was like,
You're a girl.
yeah, and I was like, I'm James's friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh right, really?
Yeah. And that's the thing with the Christmas. It's become a tradition. And when, like, your original question was about presents, and we pretty much do the same thing, but it's varied over the years in the sense that we don't get up and the first thing we do is open presents. We get up, we have breakfast. There's been the last few Christmas days where, I won't lie to you, we've been drunk by midday because there's been too much champagne, and I mean, we've
Me
had a
too, and
bit
I
of
do the cooking.
well, so do we have to do the cooking. There's
Yeah,
a
but
bit
you
of
could just have whatever
the
fish fingers.
no, we do all the trimmings and everything, we don't
No, but
always,
you know what I
you know
mean.
what
It's
though.
just you two. You don't
So,
care.
so sometimes the presents don't get opened until like 12:30, whereas you'll phone up your parents and your sisters and whatever to say Merry Christmas, and everyone's already opened their presents at like 7 in the morning. But that's probably because
When
they've
I was a
got
kid,
kids as well.
yeah, when I was a kid, Mikey and I would wake up our teenage brothers and sisters and make them, because the rule was everybody had to be in the living room for us to open our presents. And so when we were little, obviously we were children, we were very excited, and and that lasted until quite an old age actually. But I remember I had a full-time job when I was 19 or something, and I was just tired, man. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
18. And I remember Mikey being like, "Oh, wake up, get up, we need to open our presents," because we both still had more than 3 presents. And I remember thinking, this is my first day off in like a week. I just want to sleep for a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
enjoy that I'm not at work. So I remember feeling quite grown up then. But it took a long time, I think, for us to sort of establish that now the tradition is, certainly, look, for the last 4 years I haven't lived there.
Yeah.
So the new, if you like, the new tradition is I go round on Christmas morning.
So you
And
stay at yours on Christmas Eve?
yes,
Yeah.
this is partly why I deliberately chose to live walkable distance to mum and dad's. It's a 25-minute walk, but on Christmas Day you can't get the bus and you can't get a cab.
No,
Well,
of
you can
course.
get a cab, but they're very expensive, right? So I sort of very deliberately, because of Christmas Day, which sounds ridiculous, but this year has been a godsend because I don't want to get the bus during the pandemic,
Yeah, of course, of
right?
course.
So it's actually been really helpful in the long run. So Christmas morning I wake up, and I often have presents in my flat that my friends have given me, and I open them by myself. I have a nice breakfast by myself. I text some of my friends and say, "Thank you for this. This is lovely. Thank you for this. Whatever. Did you open my present yet? No. Okay. All right." And I have a little chat with Kelsey. And then I walk with my parents way before midday. Normally everyone's asleep still. And I start prepping things for Christmas dinner that I make, Christmas lunch. Philip helps me. Normally he cooks dinner, you see, for them. And so I sort of take over for the day. And then we will open presents after we've had dinner or lunch,
Okay.
whatever we call it.
Yes. I know other people that do
Yeah, but yes, and I know it's a sort of more sort of posh thing to do, but it's only really that I do it that way because I want to get food out of the way, because I'm the one cooking it all. It's not, to me, lots of people complain about how difficult or stressful Christmas lunch is. And I think because I'm from a big family and we just always, every Sunday you make a roast dinner for 6 people,
Yeah.
it ain't any different. It's not. I mean, it just really isn't.
Christmas dinner is the king of roast, isn't it? So it's like a
Yes,
glorified roast dinner, isn't
I
it?
think,
It's a roast dinner with
people.
extra bits. That's all it is. If you're
But what
doing
are the extra bits actually? The
pigs in
extra bits are
blankets,
a Christmas cracker.
sprouts.
We do sausage meat, not pigs in blankets.
They're still extra.
Sprouts I
You wouldn't
love
have that
anyway.
on
So
every Sunday roast, would you?
no, that's true. But literally, that's the only thing that is. I'll tell you the other thing that is different, and has always been different in my family, because there were so many of us. I mean, when I was little, before 6, everybody, all of my siblings lived at home, so there were 9 of us.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. My dad used to do the cooking, and my mum would carve the turkey. So I think I've always sort of appreciated subverting gender roles, even though we didn't do it on purpose or for any sort of political reason. It's just my dad's better at proper British food, if you like, and my mum's better at carving
Turkey.
dead poultry. You know what I mean? Because my mum would do it ordinarily.
Yeah.
And the only sort of major difference is that it's literally the one day of the year where we all sit around the table together. And let me tell you, it has always been quite stressful to sit around a table with all of your family.
That's a big
And
table.
I'm not. Yeah,
Do you get all like the emergency chairs out and stuff? Or?
When I was little, we did. Now it's only.
Sounds like a scene out of Dickens.
It was. I mean, when I was a kid, there would be like somebody on a stool and somebody in the corner. For a little while, there was a me and Mikey table.
Right.
But we would make Philip sit with us because he was our fave.
Yeah, the
he
kids
wasn't a
table.
dick. That's why. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it? Do
And
you always have turkey?
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I grew.
I
We
find
all.
it blasphemous that you even dream of having something different.
See.
And also in Spain they don't have turkey. And my dad growing up never had turkey. He was like, no, I'm not rich. We would have turkey. What are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I just think it's disgusting when people behave like this.
Well, turkey wasn't turkey a not like now where everyone has turkey. It was quite a
didn't it used to be goose? We discussed this in what's his called? Christmas Carol. Goose. You boy.
Yeah, it was well, a lot of apparently a lot of the Christmas traditions that we know now stem from Charles Dickens, don't they? Because he popularised them, didn't he? Through just because he was so popular, and he's
a lot of our traditions are certainly Germanic, and from the Victorian era, like Christmas cards
yeah. I mean,
Christmas crackers, perhaps.
I've got to admit that's probably one of the things that makes me feel most Christmassy, and I say that I've always, just since I've been with Hayley, I've always lived in a Victorian house. I mean, last year we went to the.
Did you not grow up in a Victorian house?
Technically, no, but my dad and my stepmom have always lived in old houses. So even though I didn't grow up there, it was kind of half and half.
Yeah.
And I could never have a new house. I love and so like last year we went to the Dickens Museum, and there is
we discussed this.
Yeah, what you were just saying though about the Victorian age and that era. There is something so Christmassy about that. And once I start watching A Christmas Carol or a Sherlock Holmes or whatever, as soon as I'm getting that Victorian stuff in December, I'm or listening to a ghost story or watching a ghost story.
Is that why we're friends? Because my name's Victoria.
Yes.
Is that all it is?
Yeah. You're the closest.
This is not the first time today.
Closest I will get to the Victorian age.
This is not the first time today that my name has been. Yeah, it's true. I feel it.
Someone insulted you today?
No, not at all. I'm just gonna go to the fridge all the way over there, but I'm gonna take my headphones off.
Okay, go for it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night.
That wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. A bottle fell. It was a whole thing. Chips fell out. What palaver.
We've gone.
The other thing I was going to say.
You were going to say about.
Yeah, go on.
Someone about your name today.
Oh no! Something about Christmas.
Oh, well, I was going to say, we, like so many people, have always had turkey. I had turkey all the time growing up, but in the past few years, we've gone, do you know what? Fucking sick and tired of having this dry shit all the time. Let's go for something else. So
you see, you're not cooking it right.
We had duck last year, which was amazing. We had beef beef the year before. I think this year we're going to have pork. Because the other thing is as well.
I mean, I like all of those things.
When you then start visiting,
we're definitely not vegan.
When you start visiting parents on, I don't know, Boxing Day or in between Christmas and New Year as like an extra Christmas day, they're like, oh, we'll do another Christmas dinner, and then you'll get a turkey then. So it's like, well, I don't mind turkey. You know me, I'll eat anything, but if I can have the choice of not having the same thing all the time, yeah, great.
I'll make a good turkey.
I bet
my
you do.
Turkey is never dry.
I bet it's moist.
It's very moist. It's very moist. And my mother will always complain and then take it back.
Really?
It's very funny. Every year she'll say something like, Oh, I didn't get a lot of meat. And then later on, we're like, there is so much left.
I was going to say,
Like, we
how
just
big are the
gave you
turkeys that you
a
guys have got to
portion,
buy?
a portion, a portion.
Fucking hell, they must be big. Where did you get
Let
them
me tell
from?
you. Let me tell you something about the size of the turkeys that we buy. Nowadays, they're not as big as they need to be, and my dad still buys too big a turkey. And Philip and I, who do the cooking, are like, look, just get a turkey for like 8 people, because that's 2 more than who are here. And there are all these other things that we're going to have with it,
Are they
right?
just
And
pumping
Philip
full of
doesn't really
water?
like turkey. No, we buy good turkey.
Okay, where from?
Telling me I got cheap water turkey. Do you know, this is another thing, and
Butchers?
I'm really glad that
Butchers?
my dad doesn't listen to my radio show. He has bought them from butchers, but one year, Philip and I decided we'll do it. We'll. I still lived at home, and I had,
You'll buy it.
I had an all right job that I could pay for things.
Right.
We'll buy all of the food, right?
Okay.
So we went off to Waitrose. We thought we'll be fancy.
Yeah, it's
Go to
Christmas.
Waitrose.
Splash out.
Buy some crackers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to Waitrose and we bought this and some party nibbles and, whatever. We bought all of the gear. And my dad was like, "Oh, Waitrose, you're middle class then, are you?" And we were like, "Oh, for fuck, like, Waitrose is nice, man." So the next year we do the same thing, but we gigglingly, we say, okay, we'll go Asda. Asda's great. I love Asda.
Happy medium.
And you know me,
yeah.
I shop in every shop. I go to a Marks and Spencer, I go to Aldi, I go to Poundland, I go to Sainsbury's. I don't give a shit. If it's got what I want and I like it, I'll buy it. It doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah, don't care about the name.
I'm not a snob.
No.
So we go to Asda. No comment, but, oh, you didn't get enough sausage meat. And I was like, Phil, we need to just accept that everything that we do is not going to be quite up to par. And the only reason why I get away with being the one that buys the Christmas crackers, because I buy very expensive Christmas crackers. I've spent £35 on Christmas crackers before. They had like flashing lights and it was all very exciting. They were from M&S. I go all out for Christmas crackers. And the only reason why I get away with it is because I'm Vicky. And Vicky gets away with Christmas cracker insanity.
It's a Vicky thing.
It's funny. I really do like Christmas, but I do find it quite a difficult day.
I was just about to ask you, actually, do you enjoy Christmas?
I really like it. And I don't know about enjoy.
I mean, like so many people, there's always, every household, there's always 1 or 2 people that are being the hosts and are having to look after everyone else. And it can be very stressful. Is that what it is for you? Like you're trying to, your mum and dad have always done the Christmases and always looked after you guys when you were kids. And now, as you say, they're getting older. So
like you were saying,
you're like, do you know what?
Like
you're going to have a good Christmas for a change.
Yeah. So like you were saying about grandparents, I have only ever had one alive grandmother, and she died when I was 7 and she lived in Spain. So I only met her twice, I think, or 3 times. She was a really lovely lady and I really liked her, but she didn't live in this country. So we've only ever had my mum and my dad and all of my siblings. There are a lot of siblings. And we were all very big personalities. And all of us, my parents, all of my siblings, like we're all very personalitied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say, and maybe my siblings would disagree, but I don't really give a fuck. I would say I'm the most well-rounded. And Susan, who's met a couple of them, has said, oh, I can see a lot of Philip in you. I can see a lot of Stephen in you. I can see. And so I think that says something. And Kelly, who is the only friend that I have that's met every one of my brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
And I think that is nuts. So the thing with Christmas is I think that when you're little, it means one thing, and you kind of don't understand the tensions that are happening.
No, you just
around
want
the
presents.
Christmas
You want a bit of fun.
day. Exactly.
Santa's been, and it's, you know.
And, you know, there's great stuff on telly. I mean, remember, this is way before Sky and cable, and we just had 4 channels, and Christmas Day was wall to wall.
That was event
amazing
TV,
shit,
wasn't it?
right?
It was event TV.
It really was.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you get older, and what happened was, when I was a teenager, some of my siblings had kids and stuff, and they would all come round on Christmas Day. And I found it really stressful, personally. And I worked at Waterstones, and at Waterstones, the only day off that you're guaranteed to get is Christmas Day. And I remember I worked there for 4 years full time. And I remember the first year I worked there full time, I was fucking exhausted. And so the first year I did it, it was just happenstance. My dad was still in bed, and I woke up and was like, oh, I better put the fucking turkey on. Do you know what I mean? So I just did it. Then the second year, everyone, you know, I said to my dad, I'll do it. It's not a problem. I've got that day off. It's no bother. And but then people came round afterwards, and it was just too much. And this brother starts picking on this brother, and there's a bit of a tense atmosphere at one point. And then the third year, I said to my parents, I don't care how selfish this makes me sound. You're not inviting anyone into this house. Anyone that doesn't live here ain't coming. I can't do it. And if you've got any respect for me and sympathy for me, you will make it clear. I said, I don't care. You can tell them that I'm a dick. I don't care. It's not a problem. But I'm too tired. And also, I'd been working night shift before Christmas.
On the night shift. Yep.
So I was just, So I was just exhausted. And then since then, I've made it very clear that nobody is allowed.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
It makes me sound really mean.
Even though you're fundamentally, even though you're hosting and organising, it's still your Christmas as well. You know.
I mean, that was my point. Is like, look, I'm working full time and I'm exhausted,
like,
and can you just,
Yeah, and actually, fundamentally, all you want to do is have a nice meal with your family and your parents. That's it, you know.
With the people that I live with.
Yeah.
It's always been turkey, Brussels sprouts, roast potatoes, gravy. I'm trying to think, do we always do mash? I don't think Philip and I go
roast potatoes and mash.
When I was a kid, and my dad did it, it would be roast potatoes, everything. Mashed potatoes, tinned peas, sausage meat, Brussels sprouts.
Do you have bacon and chestnuts with the Brussels sprouts?
No.
Not like pancetta or anything. Oh no.
Nope.
Fucking hell, you need a bit. Oh, what about cranberry sauce?
Nope. We now buy cranberry sauce for my mum because my sister introduced this crazy idea to her, and we buy a jar of cranberry sauce.
Everyone's doing it, Mum.
She uses one teaspoon of the whole jar.
Yeah.
Nothing the rest of the year. Nothing. We have to throw that jar away.
Yeah, but
it's been opened.
Everyone does that. Everyone does that. They buy all these jars of fucking condiments and pickles.
But mate, she don't like it.
And they have
we don't do bread sauce.
Oh, I love bread sauce.
We don't do bread sauce. I wouldn't mind bread sauce, but we don't do it. I remember Kelly did it.
Get yourself some bread sauce. Get yourself some bread sauce this year. Treat yourself.
So, Morecambe and Wise.
I want to talk
about comedy specials.
I was just about to say to you, Christmas TV, what is your go-to? What is the stuff that you love, remember? What do you enjoy? Because Christmas TV, we're talking about traditions now. Christmas TV is a tradition, isn't it? Like, Even though in the past few years,
it is, isn't
certainly
it?
in the UK,
Have you ever
I
watched
don't know
the Queen's
about other
speech?
countries. No, but the Queen's speech. Oh, do you know, I'm thinking of a
Me
movie.
neither. Yeah, you've ever watched it?
No, I haven't.
No. No.
I've watched the
No, I've never
highlights on
watched it.
like the news or something, but I don't even really watch the news. But
Yeah. I remember the one where she said, "This is our annus horribilis." I wonder what she says this year.
I will. Do you know what? I'll probably watch it this year because I'd be quite interested to see.
I'd be curious.
Like she's just like fuck.
Yeah.
So
No,
can you imagine?
we were absolutely we were.
If her first words were like fucking
I would give damn props to her if she went like with a glass.
If she's
of
already
booze
pissed
going,
and she's like,
I
mate,
don't fuck it,
mate.
What a fucking
like,
year!
If on the 25th she turns around and she goes, "We've only got fucking 6 days more of this," and that's just her speech, just that, just that. Oh fuck! We've only got 6 more days of this.
I want to make it clear that
Cheers.
Although I'm not a monarchist, I have no ill will towards the Queen as a human being. I think she's a lovely lady, and she never asked to be the Queen. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't watched The Crown, but I know enough, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of like that we live in a monarchy, even though I do think it's a little bit stupid. I kind of like that we live in a silly thing. I like tradition.
I mean,
this
could be a bit dangerous, but I kind of wish that they had more power than the MPs in the government.
Well,
I mean, that's probably dangerous because they're all silly as arseholes.
Under the current bloody.
But
yeah. So yeah, Christmas TV. So Morecambe and Wise is always one that I think of, but I don't even think that I've actually watched the Morecambe and Wise Christmas special.
I don't think I have either.
But in my head, it's somehow every year that's the thing that you must watch. I think it's more about movies like Home Alone 1.
Obviously, and
in particular,
watch them every year.
Elf. That's a really good one. And what's surprising is it's quite a new thing. So that's
like we were saying about the Christmas songs. It's something that's become a staple of Christmas, and it's a newer.
And it came
out
it is really
during
good.
our lifetime, didn't it? But it's up there with "It's a Wonderful Life." You know, it's part of the Christmas collection. You have to watch
every and any version of the Grinch. I love the Grinch.
I
mean, I like Dr. Seuss. Yeah,
no, but all three are valid. They're all really good.
Yeah. Oh, what was I just thought of something else.
Gremlins.
Not the Gruffalo. I love the Gremlins. I just love it.
It's a great Christmas film.
I just think it's such a. It's just a great film.
The age-old question: is Die Hard a Christmas film?
When I first watched it, it didn't occur to me. I was a kid, right? Yeah. I was like, I don't know, however old, single digits, maybe 10. I don't know. It never occurred to me that it was around Christmas. It's only as an adult that I'm like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think in my head, it's not, but it's a great film, so I don't care. I'll watch it any day of the week. Don't matter.
Yeah, never gets boring.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so does it matter if it's at Christmas or not? No, not really. I'll watch it at Christmas or not at Christmas. It doesn't. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's good. Love Actually.
Do you like that? I'm surprised if you do.
I really like the scene where what's his name? Snape. Who plays Snape?
Alan Rickman.
When Alan Rickman gives Emma Thompson the CD.
Oh, and it's Joni Mitchell, isn't it?
And she cries.
You like that scene?
It makes me feel feelings because because Emma Thompson acts that so well.
Yeah.
And it's such a great song that plays.
Yeah.
And
it's both sides now, isn't it?
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's the newer version. So
Yeah, which I prefer. I prefer
I
that
prefer
version.
that to the original.
Mm.
The original's more, guitar and stuff, isn't it? And
It's a
acoustic.
bit more folksy, isn't it?
Like that album she did, which is actually called Both Sides Now. When she did the new version of that with the strings, and it's very slow, and
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
melancholy, and it's somber, and it's sad. It's beautiful. It is
I
so
mean,
beautiful.
I do really
And
like Joni Mitchell.
and yeah, and you're so right though. That whole song is conveyed through Emma Thompson in that one scene. You're
Mm,
so right. You're so
yeah.
right. Like she is literally
So,
acting that song.
yes. So, no, I don't like that movie.
Love
And
Actually, I
even though I
find,
love,
has become one of them Christmas films which you can just put on. It's not something you have to concentrate on. It's
yes,
not something that you'll always.
yes.
I mean, this is just obviously personal opinion, but for me, it's not like Home Alone where I can watch it.
No, I want to watch Home
Yeah,
Alone.
exactly. Whereas Love Actually, if it's on in the background, wicked. I feel Christmassy watching it.
But if it's on in the
So,
background and then that scene comes on, I will stop and watch that scene. I, on more than one occasion, just YouTubed that scene.
oh wow.
And also the bit where, after the school nativity,
Mm.
where she says to Alan Rickman, "You've
You
made
made
a
you made a
fool of
fool of
me.
me. You made a fool of
You've
art.
made a fool of the life that
Yeah,
I've made."
yeah.
And I just think it's so powerful.
It's very
And
real,
look,
actually.
I've never been cheated on. That sort of thing has never happened to me. I don't feel personally related to it. I just think it's so emotional. It's so well acted. It's so well written. It's so well scripted. It's so well scored musically that it's just it doesn't it shouldn't be in that film. It should be in a better film,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
Well,
And that's not to say, oh, I don't like Richard Curtis, but I do like Richard Curtis. I think, and I think rom-coms are fine, for what they are. They're not high art or anything, but I just think it's better than the rest of it. The Colin Firth bloody storyline is disturbing in many ways. The Let's not even go there. Because first of all, she is way too young for him, but age aside, they can't talk to each other at all in any way.
yeah, but it's romantic. They learn each other's
although
languages.
although I say that as somebody whose parents met each other and could not speak each other's language.
There we go.
So
You see,
maybe, yeah.
you
My
know.
mum said to me once my mum said to me once, I said, "But when you met Dad, you couldn't speak English." And she said, "No." And I said, "And Dad couldn't speak Spanish?" "No, he could say hello and my name and how are you?" And I said, so what happened when you met?" And she said, "Well, your father," he said, "Hello, my name is Michael. What is your name?" And I said, "My name is Maria. I don't speak English." And your father, he said, "Well, you speak English now." And I said, "Okay." And that's it. And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "And then what happened?" "Well, we went to a pub. There was like a whole double date thing going on. Well, we went to a pub, and your father, he was so cheeky, and I thought he was so handsome." And I said, "But Mum, you then saw him again, right?" I mean, they're married now.
Yeah,
They've been married for 54 years, right?
yeah.
I said to both of them, "Okay, what happened? You're hanging out. You're on a date. You're drinking half a shandy. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're smoking fags. It's the 60s. You're hanging out."
Mm.
And she said, "Well, I thought he was very handsome and very cheeky. And, Vicky, you don't need to speak the same language to know." And I said, "I need to speak the same language. I cannot.
Do you think
This is
that
not good enough,
do you think that means they
frankly,
just had a lot of
baby."
sex?
According to my dad, she seduced him.
Yeah.
And took advantage. And I said, well, that's Spanish passion for you.
Spanish passion, yeah. Oi, oi.
I mean, they must have. They had 6 kids. They had 7 kids, not 6. They had 7
Which
kids.
means they've done it at least 7 times.
Anyway, you can cut that. It's not about Christmas. I wanted to ask you about this contentious topic: Quality Street or Roses?
Oh, I'm going to say Quality Street.
You know, if you'd asked me when I was younger,
I mean, in all honesty, I'd eat whatever, but
yes, me too. And if you'd asked me before, I would have always said Roses for some reason. I'm not sure why anymore. But the last few years, Quality Street.
Celebrations
Although, like you say,
come in though, haven't they? And
Heroes.
Heroes. It's fucking too many now. I preferred it when it was just the choice between Quality Street and Roses.
What's your favourite chocolate?
During Christmas or in general?
During Christmas, like from the selection boxes.
Oh, from the selection box.
Or from the tins.
I quite like
from the Christmas.
So, well, I was going to say my favourite chocolate at Christmas is a Terry's chocolate orange, and I quite like the orange ones in the tin.
Do you?
With the orange.
I will post those to you because I hate them.
Really?
They're the only ones I hate.
Do you like the coffee ones? Because a lot of people don't like the coffee ones. I'm like, bring them here. I'll have them.
They're all right, but no. I like the strawberry ones, and no one likes them.
Really? Oh, no, I'd eat the strawberry ones. I mean, I'd eat them.
Yeah, and... and what's the one? Is it Celebrations or Heroes? I always get confused with those two. But the one that has the bounty, and people leave the bounty. And I'm like, bounty's lovely.
Taste of Paradise.
I love a bounty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bounty in a little. What more do you need?
Yeah. You're basically on a
totally tropical taste. Totally tropical taste.
And the taste of paradise.
I mean, what more does anyone need? You're in Barbados.
Yeah. Which is where you want to be on Christmas Day. I'd love a hot fucking Christmas.
Would you?
Yeah. I love winter and I love being cozy and I love Christmas and I love the snow. But just once I'd like to be like, yeah, I'm lying on a beach.
My Hayley is from South Africa. And obviously in December in South Africa, it's summertime.
Yeah.
Because it's the wrong side of the earth.
Yeah.
And I remember when I very first became friends with her, one of the first real conversations I remember having was, yeah, but your Christmas cards, are they like, she went, it's snow, it's Christmas trees and robins and I was like, but it is summer? And she was like, yeah. So we've got all of this sort of winter scenes and then our Christmas Day.
A man in his shorts.
Hot as shit, Once in a while, I'd have a hot Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not all the
time.
Hot
Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Well, you were going to say to me something earlier on about the Pogues controversy with
the controversy around the Pogues.
The edit of Fairy Tale New York.
So for those who don't follow the news quite as closely as James and I do, Radio 1 has decided that, and this isn't a new thing, it's happened before, but every year it's...
Is it just Radio 1 or is it?
It is Radio 1, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is just Radio 1.
Right.
And it's always just Radio 1, by the way. But every year it's sort of introduced in this sort of controversial way.
R&B shit. And,
exactly. And so every year it becomes a Twitter storm or news maelstrom. I don't know. It's just like a way to fill up news inches,
Yeah, filler.
So every year it's just like a non-story. Like every year you see on Facebook, oh, they're not gonna do poppies. They're not selling poppies anymore. No one is not selling poppies. Like, shut up. No one. This is not the thing.
But that's the
anyway.
difference.
But
The
it is
difference
true.
is
It is
because,
true.
yeah, they're actually editing it and they're changing it.
It is true that they have edited it to not say faggot. Now,
Is it just that? Is there anything else?
That's the thing that they're concentrating on this year, but it's not a new thing. So they don't say slut either. And Shane McGowan of the Pogues is like, I don't give a shit. I mean, he gets paid whatever.
It's a shame, right? Actually, that that's his attitude, because if I was the writer of that, I'd be going, well, you can't play it.
The thing is I think that, yes, faggot is offensive now. I mean, it was offensive then, right? But we're all a bit more in touch with being a bit more sensitive. You know that I only take that to a certain point, though.
Yes.
I do think that things that are of their time need to remain the same. If you take, for example, in Huckleberry Finn, there is a character that's called the N-word, Jim.
Yeah.
I think that you need to continue to present that as the uncensored thing.
Yeah.
Because yes, it is shocking for us to read, and it's less. It is less shocking in this country, that word. But I hope that we have a global appeal. So I don't want to be controversial for the sake of being controversial. No. You know very well that I do not want to be offensive when I don't need to be, right? And I like to try to be nice to all of the people all of the time. And if I ever say anything that's offensive, I apologize sort of in advance. But I also equally don't want to be a snowflake lefty person who's like, treading on eggshells constantly, because that's just not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Because I think that not you, but society changing a word doesn't change attitudes the racism or sexism no, exactly. So I do think that, yes, if I were to write the fairy tale of, or Shane McGowan rather, because I'm not talented enough, if Shane McGowan were to write the fairy tale of New York today, yeah, he probably wouldn't use the word faggot, and of course you wouldn't. However, it was not written today. It was written 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And yes, it's still an offensive word, but the fucking point of that song is that she wants to be offensive. He wants to be offensive. He calls her, you're an old slut on junk.
They're both two drunk people in a New York bar. Fucking, yes. And it's character, isn't it? That's
they're having a fucking row.
It's character.
And I think that, look, the fact of the matter is, even today, if you want to be offensive to somebody, you pull out of your head all manner of fucking words and things.
Yeah.
I've been called all sorts of crazy things. Like, I was called a Spanish bitch once, and I was like, what? I'm only half Spanish for a song.
But I bet it didn't offend you though, did it? I bet you weren't like, whatever.
No. I was like, how do you know I'm what? It was a very odd row.
Yeah.
But I'm overweight, and I'm aware of that. And if somebody calls me a fat cunt, say, which is really offensive on 2 different or 3 different or 4 different levels, I sort of go, yeah, well, but you're just saying what you see. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might call me a white bitch or a brunette wanker, or do you know what I mean? It's just it's just a descriptor in that moment where you just go, you're a this and a this, and it, it might be, let's say that I was very thin, you might go, you skinny, blah. It's just it's literally just throwing out anything, any descriptor, and making it sound offensive. I appreciate that look, I have many gay male friends, not so many lesbian friends. I asked a couple of them, what do you think? And they were all like, well, yeah, I mean, it's not nice, but it's fucking the point of the song is that you're not being nice. So, I mean,
I just think, if you're going to go all that way to edit it, don't play it. Because then they're playing the full version on radio too. So it's like,
and they're playing the full version on Smooth, because that's what I listen to.
What's the point?
And it was all very exciting the other day, because I noticed that they were playing it when I was at work at the time, and I was like, oh, are they going to play that? Yeah, they played the real one. Yeah, great.
I mean, really it's Christmas. You need a bit of
it's that song. Well, Christmas is difficult, isn't it, frankly? What's the other song I was going to ask you about?
Baby, It's Cold Outside. That's the other one. That's the other one.
Yes. The rapey song. So I will admit that I used to get a bit pissed off about that song. And then I read an article. And the article said, but at the time, lines like, say what's in this drink, they were a kind of obvious joke to the audience. Also, this really fascinating article, and was like, okay, fine, do you know what, it's not a rapey song.
It's not, it's of its time.
It's that kind of pretend, yes, of course, but it's that pretend fight of like,
it's flirtatious. It's the 1950s. It's flirtation in the 1950s. In that song, the woman is just as much into the man as the man is into the woman. But you're in the 50s. It's an era of either they're a younger couple and the guy and the girl's like, oh, I've got to be home. My parents said I've got to be home by 11, which is no problem to either of them. They're like, oh, I'd love you to stay for one more drink. Or if they're a bit older, it's still a case of, well, I can't do all this yet because we're not married. It's a very innocent romance, and they've gone out at Christmas time.
It's very like, I do want to spend the night with you,
but I've got standards,
I can't, because
traditions.
I'm not that kind of girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
want you to think I'm a slut.
Yeah, but I'm definitely into you, and you're into me. Take me on a few more dates. Meet my dad. But that's the old school.
Well,
that's what it is.
Or maybe you slipped a Jimmy in my drink. Yeah, exactly.
But then you get these people nowadays that are like, now. Oh, it's a date rape drug. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's like you said. You're just you're just saying it for the sake of it. It's filler. It's filler.
And I was the sort of person who was like, oh, it's the rapey song again. Because taking it at face value, it does sound a bit much
by today's standards.
But then I understood that within the context of when it was written. Oh, it's fine. It's a great song. It's a lovely song. I can enjoy it again. And this is what I kind of don't understand is people now, it seems, are too quick to judge everything by a 2020 brush and say, that's shit, this is bad, this is problematic, this is this is that. It's like, oh mate, not everything is problematic. Things are of their time, and things have got context. You need to contextualize things. For example, I was talking to Susan about this the other day. Like, it's not related, but I think it really speaks to what we're saying now. when I very first read Romeo and Juliet at school, I understood it in one very sort of specific, particular way. It's just a love story, and then and everyone dies, right? But then I went to university and we did Romeo and Juliet. And in the contemporary reading of Romeo and Juliet, it changes everything, dude. The fact that when Romeo first meets Juliet and they have a conversation, it's a sonnet, means that, and the contemporary audience, the Elizabethan audience would have understood this, means that they actually were in love. But the fact that he was in love meant that he was a fucking pussy, right? So when Mercutio is being all like, you're a fucking dick now, he means you're a fucking dick now. Your humors are all out of whack. We don't see that. We're reading it from a very particular and specific way that was not understood at the time. And at the time, it meant X, Y, and Z. And I think that's really important because Shakespeare was writing it at a particular point. Shane MacGowan was writing it at a particular point. Walt Disney was writing Dumbo at a particular point. And it is reductive and pointless for us to say otherwise.
Yeah. And also, if you don't like it, then just turn on to another radio station.
Don't fucking listen to it. It's fine. It's fine. And I understand, even though I'm not a gay man, I understand why you would think that the word faggot is really offensive. It fucking is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. And I would be really upset if anybody used it out of context of that song.
And that's the thing. And if it was if it was an offensive song about gay people, then I'm all for get rid of it.
The thing is in a relationship,
as you say, the character,
and in that context of that song where they're having a row, you are gonna call your boyfriend or your girlfriend
if you're really that pissed off. Of course you are.
Also, faggot ain't such a thing in this country. Faggot to me is
it's an American thing, isn't it?
Because a faggot is either a bundle of sticks or the sort of loose meatball type thing that I love.
Faggots and peas.
I mean? Oh, I fucking love faggots.
Yeah, so do I.
I love them. I'll
have to edit that out.
You can edit what you
want. So people don't get offended.
Edit all of that 20-minute rant.
Like food at Christmas is amazing. It's what I look forward to. One of the things I look forward to most about Christmas. I mean, faggots. I mean, I don't eat them at Christmas, but I would. But I mean, things like cheese and biscuits.
It's a proper British thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but like cheese and biscuits, I really look forward to.
When you were a kid, let's say, what would you have for Christmas breakfast?
Oh God, that's a really good question. I don't know, actually. Maybe toast or something. Nowadays, every Christmas, I would have smoked salmon on bagels with hollandaise sauce and some Bucks Fizz or some champagne. But I have a lot of it. I have fucking like a mound of salmon. Oh God, it's gorgeous.
Do you know what I have?
Go on. Cocoa Pops,
Selection Box, and Quality Street and Roses. Because my mum is the sort of mum. Because my mum is the sort of mum who the whole of December, my dad would. Yes, because listen. My dad would buy a tin here and a tin there and a box here and a box there and some biscuits here, and my mum would put them in a cupboard and say, it's for Christmas, it's for Christmas, it's for Christmas. Everything is fucking for Christmas. And we'd be like, okay, but we need some now. Come on, it's December. No, it's for Christmas. So Christmas fucking day, I would be like, well, lady, it's Christmas now. Rip. I'm gonna eat all of the fucking, and that's why I eat too much. Maybe.
Well, so do you
I'm just like I can eat it.
What? So you have them for
Yeah.
breakfast, so your mum doesn't get to them
Yeah.
first?
No, because she has spent 25 days minimum
Oh,
saying
okay. So
this is for Christmas.
she's hoarded it.
And
Oh,
so
so it's not because
the minute it's
right.
Christmas, the fucking second it's Christmas,
Oh,
we're
right.
like,
Okay.
it's Christmas now, baby. We're eating all of the fucking it's for Christmas, it's for Christmas. I'm gonna eat it all for Christmas.
No, I'm
See, now that
sophisticated
I'm
with
a
my
now that
salmon.
well, and now that I'm a grown up,
Mm.
and I have now that I've moved out, I have my own Christmas breakfast.
Mm.
My Christmas breakfast is normally fried egg in a baguette
Oh,
with bacon, maybe.
oh, lovely.
I have a Jack Daniels and Diet Coke. Walk to my parents. I do start on the Jack Daniels very early. There
Yeah.
was one year I was particularly stressed. Yeah. And my family are not a family of drinkers, but they could see that I was getting really fucking peed off with whatever the situation was. And two of my brothers just kept handing me glasses of Jack Daniels and Diet Coke. And I was like, oh, I'm so grateful. And they were very heavy handed Jack Daniels and Diet Coke.
So was the Christmas dinner burnt, or was it?
No, I've never, touch wood, I've never, ever
Do you know?
ruined a Christmas dinner.
We haven't ruined one, but a couple of years ago, when we were still having turkey, we wrapped up the whole turkey in bacon, put it in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Then we wandered down to the micro pub because it
Mm-hmm.
was only open on Christmas Day. The micro pub is only open for a couple of hours. It's like 11 till 1 or something, and
Yeah.
everyone piles in for them 2 hours. So we popped down, we left the oven on, put it on low and stuff. But then we had like this mini Christmas lock-in, so didn't actually get back until like 4. So an extra an extra like 3 hours behind schedule, and we were like, fuck, the turkey's going to be burnt. The bacon had
Yeah.
formed a protective layer over the whole of the turkey, so the bacon was crisp as fuck, but it had kept all the moisture into the turkey. So actually, we saved that.
Yeah.
So
That's how I cook. That's how I cook my turkey.
it was good. It was good. That was actually a good turkey.
Baby,
That
I
is.
even do a lattice thing.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Very posh. Very posh.
yeah. So I have a question for you, because you're not a particularly religious person.
Mm.
What's the number one best thing about Christmas?
What, in general or for me?
Well, for you in general.
Oh.
Like for me, it's great food and I don't have to go to work. And I really fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I love about Christmas nowadays, is being at home. And obviously that's a bit different this year because that's pretty much all I've done is be at home. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being with Hayley. I enjoy being with Caesar. I enjoy chilling out.
Excuse me, can you give him his full name?
Sorry,
Please?
Caesar Romero.
Fuck's sake.
The
Fuck's sake.
the one and only cat in my life. Yeah.
Did you ever have a pet growing up?
No, my dad.
Nothing.
My dad. I had a couple of goldfish that my mum flushed down the toilet.
Fucking goldfish.
But my dad.
Goldfish ain't a pet.
My dad and my
You can't hug a goldfish.
You can't. My dad and my stepmom had a cat, which I'd see sporadically, obviously, when I was up there. But I never grew up with a pet. I always wanted a dog, but we got a cat. So, and that's what I like about Christmas. Just the being able to almost recharge and just have that little bit of time at the end of the year. And actually, I think you've got the opportunity to do it this year. Do it. Just, don't worry. I mean, yeah, it's really sad if you can't see the families and you can't do what you normally will do and you can't stick to them traditions. But if you can't do it because you're not allowed to or whatever, then do yourself a favour and just give yourself a bit of time, because it's been a shit year for a lot of reasons. So give yourself a bit of time during Christmas just to either recharge and just think about yourself. You know, it sucks that some people aren't going to be with their family this year, but do you know what? This ain't going to be the last Christmas. So
no.
No matter how much George Michael sings about it, it's not last Christmas. It's never last Christmas.
My brother Philip always sings, "Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day I knew I was gay." Which is apt now.
Do you know what? He should have come out. That's how he should have come out that way.
He should have just said.
He should have said, "Look, this year I'm reissuing. I'm reissuing Last Christmas. I've done a reversion of it for. When did he come out? What year did he come out? 19.
I didn't.
Say he came out 94. I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, let's say.
But just say for argument's sake, he was like, "Oh, do you know what, guys? I'm gonna bring out Last Christmas 1994 version," and everyone's getting really excited. And
it's true.
He pulls out that lyric.
I knew I was gay.
And everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Year, just take me from
and while you're at it, George, could you maybe change the Crowded Room lyric as well, because that doesn't work. Oh, George Michael.
Oh, mate. I still like it as a song.
It's still a good song.
Even though you've ruined that.
Every time you hear that crowded room.
Yes.
Just like, what?
Yes.
Once bitten, crowded room. It doesn't work.
Shine.
Once bitten, crowded room. It's just crowd. It's just, no. Although the more times I sing it, the more I'm like, actually, it's not too bad. But why is it though? Why is it though? Every version I hear of that, whether it be Jimmy Eat World or Taylor Swift or whoever else is singing it at the time, whenever they get to that bit, crowded room, it always sounds off. It always sounds off.
It's a terrible lyric.
Just doesn't fit.
It's been a long time and I hadn't even thought about it.
Well, I'm sorry I've ruined that for you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm just a scumbag and maggot, a cheap, lousy faggot.
That is number one best Christmas song.
Despite all the...
Do you know why? Because
everyone loves it.
Maybe this is something I need to talk to a therapist about, but to me, Christmas is quite an argumentative time of year.
Oh, yeah.
And that song is just an argument and is Christmas, and so therefore makes 100% sense to me.
It happens, doesn't it? People, families get together at Christmas, and
exactly. The bit that I like is when she says, "You took my dreams from me," and then he says, "I kept them with me, babe.
When I first
I
found
put them with
you,
my own.
Can't make it all alone.
Just
I built my dreams.
I don't know. There's a lot of
you.
There's a lot of regret. There's a lot of regret in it, and I think Christmas is a time for regret. There's a lot of sadness, and I think Christmas is quite melancholy. There's a lot of anger, and I think Christmas can be quite angry. The new year, like with, well, this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over. I listened to that a lot at Waterstones, and I would think, what have I done? What have I done? Nothing.
Yeah, there's a slight undertone.
There is a melancholy, isn't there, to Christmas? Yeah. So
because, and we've said this before, Christmas is a reflective time of the year.
It is a reflective.
So, and reflective isn't always a good thing, is it? This is why we get to.
No, you think, I fucked up here.
Yeah,
fucked
it's
up
just
there,
this is
up
why
everywhere.
we get to New
There's
Year's.
Dr. Zeus. That's a little bit of Grinch.
Was that verbatim? Was it? I don't remember Jim Carrey saying that bit.
Exactly.
I fucked up here. I fucked up there. I fucked up everywhere. But yeah, that's why, like in New Year's, when people make these New Year resolutions, you know, it's because we go round in a circle. It's you know, we try to change or do good or be better than what we are, and sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. And then we get to the end of the year, we get reflective. We, as human beings, focus on negative stuff a bit too much. So you think about, rather than think about all the stuff that you've done, you'll think about the stuff that you didn't do. And then you add that on to your New Year's resolution, and you go round and round and round. And then you die. Merry Christmas.
That's the end. All right.
Is that why your thumbs up?
Yeah. Like, that's the end. Because I fucking agree. So that you need to stop it there.
Right, okay. Do I stop it there or do I fade it out as we're talking now to say?
No, you stop it there, and then you. This has been a Head Full of Straw Productions.
We're just like a.
Stop it there.
Just like a.
This has been a Head Full of Straw production of Vicky Goes On and On with Vicky Stokes and James Wells.
Before we go,
Yeah.
you saying about Bill Murray. Have you watched A Very Murray Christmas on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
You've got to get.
Is it good?
Watch A Very Murray Christmas. It's. I watch it every year now.
Oh, really?
I watch it every year on Netflix. It's brilliant. I love it. And he sings in it, and it's just fun. George Clooney's in it. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's so good.
I've got Cowboys Christmas Ball by the Killers and A Very Murray Christmas.
If you're disappointed, I will eat my Christmas hat.
From the Cracker?
No, like an actual massive hat.
No. All right. Well, because from the Cracker, that ain't nothing.
That's just
a bit of paper.
Cool. All right.
Exactly.